Joining me on the show at this point in time is Mr. K.C. Sharma, BJP spokesperson, Matthew Anthony, Congress spokesperson, also joins us on the show. Mr. PKD Nambiar, political analyst, also here with us. And last but by no means the least, Rajalakshmi Joshi, political analyst, joins us on the show as well. PKD Nambiar, I'd like to begin with you, if you can hear me. PKD?
Yes, I can.
Well, you know, the mantra for these elections is going to be, PKD, and I hope you concur with me, that though they may be small states, their results, the orientation that they bring, the mood that they swing is also going to decide which way the wind is blowing for perhaps almost all big political parties in the country come 2024.
Well, Vineet, I think your question has got an answer. Remember that even if it is 10 years back, the northeastern states were not even given any kind of an importance in the national media or never been a part of their election discourse in the national media on a prime time like we are discussing. I think a lot of credit goes to Narendra Modi for him to more of like making them as a part of the mainland, because they were always disconnected from the Delhi or from the rest of the country. But today we celebrate the northeastern states, and I think the compliments to the current regime for making them a part of our national discourse and as important as any other state. So that is one part of it. The second part, when it comes to the politics of this election, is very significant. It is not just because of the three small states. They may not be nationally from the point of view of a Lok Sabha seats, may not be that relevant because they have got very minimum number of seats, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seats. But the broader line is that when the northeastern states are becoming a very, very prominent place in our national politics, and the Tripura, for an example, among the three, the largest state or the one which 25 years the CPIM and or the left parties were ruling, suddenly the BJP coming into the entire northeastern states and becoming the major political force, and Congress almost nowhere to be seen. Even though some places you will be able to see NCP, or there are some places, I mean, even though the real NCP of the mainland, which I would say the Sharad Pawar may not have even gone to any of the northeastern state for at least the last 10 years or at least 7-8 years. But even JDU, for an example, they were having some kind of 6-7 MLAs in one of the northeastern states. But BJP is now becoming either a prominent party or a prominent alliance with the regional parties like an NDP or NNPP and etc. So the selection is becoming more and more. I'm very, very happy with the fact that we are all giving so much of an importance to this the small states, an equal importance at least like any other states in the country. That will bring them closer to the mainland. That will bring them closer to all the rest of India. So it's more than just a political activity, or it's more than just an election activity. It has got a much more significance. Now, coming to the last part of it, Tripura is a very, very interesting state because the TMC is very, very active. And most importantly, from the national outlook, both CPIM and Congress, they were the bitter rivals for decades and decades, now together contesting against the BJP. So this will also have a repercussion in many other places, like in the state of Kerala, where I belongs to, wherein the CPIM and the left parties and the Congress are still fighting with each other. On the other side, you will find in Tripura, both the left parties and the Congress, they are coming together and going against the BJP. So I think this election is very, very important from for the Northeast. This will also be sending some kind of a strong message nationally for the 2024, which we are all looking at. And I think this election is going to be very, very important, really. See, I'm very, very astonished with the very fact that my friend is talking about that the Congress and the Northeast. Imagine that the last 40-50 years, you and me never discussed about any of the national, on national television or the
I discussed, you may not have discussed, I discussed.
No, excuse me, my dear, no, just hold on, this is my turn, I'll tell you. In the last 40 years, tell me the developments of what happened in the Northeast. What was the kind of amount of conflict? You were talking about the tribals from the Northeast. They were not even discussed, even not even in the textbooks in India. So I think let's understand the borders, the number of border states. You were talking about the tribals and all the kind of these things. They were not even. They were just an exhibition part. When they once in a year you bring them to Delhi to showcase that there is a place called as Nagaland in India. Come on, just relax and then just imagine what
SC Jamir was appointed as a parliamentary
okay,
secretary.
one second, let him finish. One second. Let me. One second, PKD. Let me.
The people are,
Let me also take a response from Mr. KC Sharma as well. Mr. Matthew has said that perhaps the Congress is on a road to revival in the Northeast, but let us not forget that the results from last time around were absolutely dismal. Less than 5% of votes in all these three states. Mr. Sharma, the stage is yours.
I don't understand what sort of the Northeast pride they are talking about and what they did for the Northeast pride. Other than the conversion as people in politics and misusing the resources from the Northeast. Nothing else they did. Nothing they did completely on the front of the development. Even like before the Modi government, there was no airport into the important states, Northeast states. Why? Now there is a proper infrastructure development, railway infrastructure development, air connectivity. We are developing a connectivity to all the Northeast states. We are building the main.
We need to understand, Vinny, that there was, as we discussed, that there was some kind of a stepmotherly approach towards the Northeast, and which is very well known to. Nobody even required to have a discussion or a debate on it. It was a very well known fact which every kid knows in this country. At least the people like you and me who lives in Delhi, we know that how the people of Northeast used to be treated in the mainlands or in the major cities. Unko chinki bulate the, unko us tarah se bulate the. So that culture has been changed with only one thing, with a 360-degree approach to make sure that they are an integral part of the country. They deserve everything what you and me deserves. And they have been given from the point of view of a development. Now, I wanted to ask the Congress person, let me ask you this question. What is the road network over the 50 years of Northeast have been done as compared to the last 8 years? The number of airports which were developed for the 50 years versus the last 8 years. The number of the water reaching to every common houses. What is the amount of the water network with, to the people? What is the kind of connectivity between the Northeast and to the mainland over the last 50 years versus the 8 years? You may find me like, oh, I am a Modi bhakt. You can blame me that. But the fact remains the fact. And secondly, and the most importantly, after 50 years, if the people of Northeast, one after another, state after state, have rejected you, thrown you out, even across the border, then I think the time has come for you to realize, not to the Bharat Jodo Yatra, do a little bit of introspection about how to make Congress together. That should be the mantra for Congress. Forget about the Northeast. You are not even relevant in the places where you used to rule for 50, 60 years in this country. I think the time has come. Northeast has rejected you. These elections are very, very, very significant. And I'm very, very happy with the fact that we are discussing it, debating about the Northeast. That alone shows the importance this government has brought for Northeast. They are an integral part of us in every spirit.
Thank you everyone for being a part of this interesting conversation.